You got timetable for internals, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So here in the second semester, actually for internals 2 units you have to write. Half syllabus you have to write for first internal and half for second internal. Okay. So here in this microbial diversity, we have almost completed 2 units, ma. We have started third unit, but one topic is left, I think. Yes, microbial richness.
Yes, ma'am.
You all remember?
Yes, ma'am.
Remaining that everything is done, ma. Everything is completed. Yes, girls. No idea. Once go through the book. If anything is left, I'll complete. Can you write for 2 units? Say something, ma.
Ma'am, in unit 1, economical value of biodiversity is not completed, ma'am.
Economical value. Page, ma.
Yes, ma'am. Page number 9, ma'am.
Benefits of biodiversity is done. Measuring biodiversity, mapping biodiversity is done, right? Isma Bhavani? Bhargavi?
Yes, ma'am.
Till where we have to do this topic, ma?
Ma'am, you directly started classification, ma'am. Classification of living organisms.
Biodiversity conservation is also not done.
Yes, ma'am. You said it is very important. It is added newly. So after getting books to all, you will start that topic, ma'am. You said on that day. So you directly gone into the classification of living organisms, ma'am.
Conservation is also not done.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, when is your exam? Monday?
Tuesday, ma'am.
Right. So conservation, I'll explain now, ma. This economic value, then can you attend the class tomorrow?
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, no problem for you all. Just half an hour.
Yes, ma'am.
Tomorrow, okay. So
Okay,
2
ma'am.
units will be okay for you. Even second unit, one topic is not done. No? Small topic is there. We can leave that
Yes,
topic.
ma'am.
Excluding that topic, I'll give for internal. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Remaining these 2 topics, I'll complete because these are
Okay,
important.
ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Right. Biodiversity conservation. What do you mean by conservation, ma? Conservation means to preserve. What is diversity? What is biodiversity? Bio means life. Diversity means it is the variation in living forms which are present in the nature. Okay. You want to conserve that diversity, whatever types of living organisms are there in the environment, you are trying to conserve that. Okay. And as we are talking about microorganisms, we are more concerned about microbes, right? And It is about saving life on Earth in all its forms and keeping natural ecosystems functioning and healthy. If all the organisms are surviving all types, then only the ecosystem will be in balance. This incorporates the preservation, maintenance, sustainable use, recovery, and enhancement of components of biological diversity. Means, what is this biodiversity conservation means? You are preserving it, you are maintaining it, you are sustaining its use, and you are recovering whatever your product you have to get, an enhancement of the components of the biological diversity. Whatever species are there, that should be increased in number, right? Then why conserve biodiversity? Why we have to conserve? Because now people are more looking or thinking about biodiversity. Before that, they used to cut the forest. They used to do whatever they like, right? There are no rules and regulations. But after a particular time, it started like some kind of imbalance in nature, and that is why there were say many problems. It may be floods, or it may be a drought. It can be anything, right? Then scientists have understood, or human has understood, that this biodiversity is required for us to survive on this earth, right? Biodiversity is the life support system of our planet. Understood? To maintain some balance on this planet, we have to maintain this biodiversity. We depend on it for the air we breathe, the food we eat, and the water we drink. Whatever we need, the basic facilities, whether it is food or air or water, we have to depend on biodiversity. Medicines originating from wild species, including penicillin, aspirin, Taxol, etc., and have saved millions of lives and alleviated tremendous sufferings. If you remember, in the history of microbiology, you might have studied about antibiotics. Okay, from which organism we are getting antibiotics, ma? Penicillin, for example.
Yes, ma'am.
From which organism we are getting penicillin? Yes, Satvika? Which organism?
Penicillium, ma'am.
Penicillium.
Superb, superb. Penicillium notatum. What is penicillium? It is a fungus.
Penicillium notatum.
Very nice. It is the fungus, right? Have you grown it in your home, Penicillium notatum? No, we have got it from nature, right? It was there in nature. From there, we got the antibiotics. Like we got many medicines from plants, from microorganisms, etc. Wetlands filter pollutants from water, trees, and plants, reduce global warming by absorbing carbon. Now, everyone is saying global warming is there. Okay, what is this global warming? What do you mean by global warming? Fast. We have only 40 minutes, 30 minutes.
Depletion of ozone layer. Increase of Earth's temperature
Very nice.
due to carbon dioxide
Very nice.
and
Satvika,
greenhouse gases.
Yes, yes, superb, ma, superb. So, what is happening
And
in nature?
methane.
And Akshaya, wanted to say something? Right. So ultimately, carbon dioxide is increasing, by which the temperature of the Earth is increasing, and what do you say, at Himalayas, that ice is melting. There are floods, etc. Right. So ultimately, so carbon dioxide is the basic element of this problem. So this carbon dioxide will be absorbed by wetlands. Okay, whatever forests are there, they will absorb this carbon dioxide. You understand, no? Plants, what they take up, what they absorb? They absorb carbon dioxide and
Carbon
they are releasing
dioxide.
oxygen, which is
Oxygen.
required for us. Bacteria and fungi break down organic material and fertilize the soil. Whatever material is to be decomposed, who is decomposing? Are we doing something for decomposition? Yes? No? It is all microorganisms. So, decomposition is also being done. And then It has been observed that native species richness is linked to the health of ecosystems as it is the quality of life for humans. Native species. What do you mean by native species? What is your native place? Someone asked you, right? Means where you are originating from. Native species means if you are taking any place on the earth, there will be some native organisms belonging to that area. That may be a kind of plant, that may be a kind of fungus, that may be a kind of microorganism, right? They are native species. And it is maintaining that native species is the quality of life for humans. If you maintain that nativity of these organisms, then your condition or your life will improve. Connection between biodiversity and our sustainable future appear closer and closer the more we look. If you try to understand the link between maintenance of biodiversity and the quality of human life, there is much more like greater closeness between these two aspects. And we literally need to conserve biodiversity as our lives depend on it. If we can't conserve, then we have to die. We think we are killing that organisms. Ultimately, we will be killed. Conservation measures biodiversity ex situ conservation. Ex situ means you are taking out of that area. In situ means in that area. Okay. Ex situ means you are taking the organism from one place to another organism and you are conserving it. In situ means you are conserving the organism at the same place where it is present. Understood the differences between two words? Yes, girls?
Yes, ma'am.
Anshu, Kairam, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So it refers to conservation of components of biodiversity outside their natural habitats. For example, zoo. Have you all went to zoo? Have you seen zoo?
Yes, ma'am.
Fast response. Fastly you have to respond. Okay. So you have seen many animals there.
Ma'am.
Were they present from the beginning there itself?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes?
No, ma'am.
No.
No, ma'am.
No. These artificial conditions were created and then they have mobilized these animals from some other area to zoo and there they are maintaining these animals. Okay, they are growing these animals, right? So this is ex situ conservation. It may be zoo, museum, gene bank, botanical gardens, etc., which are used for threatened and endangered species to avoid their extinction, also known as captive conservation. Means to conserve these rare species, that is, these places are built up. A lot of effort is underway to collect and preserve the genetic material of crops, animals, birds, and fish species. Now, what scientists are doing is they are trying to collect the genetic material, because if in future, if any organism is becoming extinct, then they are trying to make that organism again using the genetic material. This work is being done by institutions such as National Bureau of Plant Genetic Resources, National Bureau of Fish Genetic Resources, National Bureau of Animal Genetic Resources, etc. So what these institutes are doing, they are looking for future. Okay, they are storing, they are preserving the genetic material of these organisms. Conservation measures have also included reintroduction, captive breeding programs, and artificial feeding. So again, they are doing something else also, reintroduction, captive breeding program. Breeding means again a kind of cross this thing, and artificial feeding. Reintroduction of animal or plant into the habitat from where it has become extinct is another form of ex situ conservation. Reintroduction means, suppose a particular place is there, right? There was some plant or some microorganism, micro was there, or X animal was there. Okay, now it has become extinct. For example, tiger, some tiger. It has become extinct from some area. So what they are doing, reintroduction means they are getting that animal and they are introducing again into that ecosystem. That is reintroduction. For example, Gangetic gharial has been reintroduced in the rivers of UP. Means gharial is crocodiles. Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan, where it had become extinct. So in these areas, they have introduced that What is this gharial? Seed banks, botanical, horticulture, and recreational gardens are important centers for ex situ conservation. Even seed banks for plants, they are maintaining this botanical, horticultural, recreation, and seed banks. Next, in situ conservation means inside the place where they are present, there itself, if they are maintaining the organisms, it is in situ conservation. Next, natural habitats. In their natural habitats, we are maintaining it. Approximately 4.2% of the total geographical area of in India has been earmarked for extensive in situ conservation of habitats and ecosystems. Means out of the entire area, about 4.2% geographical area is marked for conservation, in situ conservation. Like government has taken initiative to protect that places. A protected area network of 102 national parks, 118 biosphere reserves, 448 wildlife sanctuaries have been created. So in situ conservation, what all are included? National parks, biosphere reserves, and wildlife sanctuaries are all created to maintain in situ conservation. The results of this network has been significant in restoring viable population of large mammals such as tiger, lion, rhinoceros, crocodiles, and elephants. So all these animals are benefited in this in situ conservation. Next is community participation in biodiversity conservation. How a community must help in conservation of biodiversity. So people have understood, or government has understood, that no legal provisions can be effective unless local communities are involved in planning, management, and monitoring conservation programs. If you go for these forest areas, tribal people will be there. Have you seen tribal people? They'll be near forests. Okay, so these communities of tribal people or people who are very much near to the forest, they have to involve themselves in the conservation of this biodiversity, because even if we put some laws, right, somebody will come and break the law, right? But when communities, these people are involved themselves to take care of this biodiversity, it will be more effective. There are several initiatives to do this, both by government as well as non-governmental organizations. For example, joint forest management philosophy stresses involvement of village communities in regenerating and protecting degraded forest land in vicinity of villages. So villages, village people and government and forest management, they are all working together to maintain this biodiversity. Successful conservation strategies will have to have confidence and participation of the local communities. So we have to have confidence on the local communities for this biodiversity aspect. Next, international efforts. So we have seen about how village people or community people have to held the responsibility for this practice. Coming to the international efforts, at international level, what efforts are being done for biodiversity conservation? It is not an issue confined to any one country. When we are talking about biodiversity, it is not a simple thing. It is an international concept or international problem where you have to find a solution. It is crucial global concern, and conservation of biological diversity and sustainable use of its components came into limelight in 1972. In 1973, UNEP identified conservation of biodiversity as a priority area. Hence, there was need to get the legal mandate for conservation of world resources. So, in 1972 or 73 itself, people have thought that this is more important for people to survive, that we have to maintain our diversity or biodiversity, right? Then as organization, that is UNEP, has come into existence, and they have worked on this area for making of legal mandate, means they have made some laws. There were negotiations for legally binding instrument to address biological diversity and its laws to enhance fairness and equity in sharing of the benefits of biodiversity. This led to the opening of Convention on Biological Diversity in 92. The convention was inspired by growing concern all over the world for sustainable development. They have held various, talks, and they have gatherings. They have conducted many programs, and they have educated the people about these issues. Conservation of the biological diversity, sustainable of its components. Like if you are conserving the nature, if you are conserving the forest also, you can get many benefits from it. a fair and equitable sharing of its benefits. This was the first global comprehensive agreement that addressed all the aspects of biological diversity. At international level, what agreement was done? Whatever benefits we are getting from this conservation of biodiversity, whether it is forest products or any other products, these, what do you say, benefits must be shared equally. And all the aspects of biological diversity, genetic resources, species diversity, ecosystem diversity, all are addressed. And several international treaties and agreements are in place in the attempt to strengthen international participation and commitment towards conserving diversity. So many countries have come together and they have signed some treaties, agreements to conserve the nature. Rio de Janeiro, under the UN Conference on Environment Development or Earth Summit, African Convention on Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources. These are all programs they have conducted in the series of time to protect different parts of the nature, for birds protection, for plants protection. Different organizations they have come forward. Just this is the list. And in Indian efforts, what India has done. Are you able to follow, all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh. Okay, wherever we stop here, maybe within 10 minutes, we have to end the class. So remaining part, I'll give you the summary in tomorrow's class. No need to worry, okay? Next, Indian efforts. So what India has done? It is protecting and promoting biodiversity has always been an integral part of culture and civilization. So we are protecting our biodiversity. This can be seen in thousands of sacred groves that are all found all over the country. Indian traditional systems of agriculture and medicine depend on plant and animal biodiversity. India is one of the early signatories to the UN Convention on Biological Diversity. Even prior to CBD, India has already been having legal provisions. So we are having laws from the starting itself, and we are more concerned about our nature. And even if there is any international agreement or international treaty being signed, India was the first to sign that agreement. Next, Indian Forest Act was there in 1927, and Forest Conservation Act 1980 deal with management of forests and conservation of forest land respectively. So this at international level, they have come forward at 1972, but in India, there was this law since 1927 itself. And Wildlife Protection Act in 1972 is there for protection of wild animals, birds, and plants. And besides, this act has provision to protect prohibiting picking and uprooting of specific plants. So in this act, what all is allowed, what all is prohibited. Okay, we have to protect wildlife, national parks, sanctuaries. We have to prohibit picking and uprooting of specified plants. Some plants, they should not be destroyed. Despite population pressure, India has more than 600 protected areas, covering approximately 5% of the total geographical area of the country. So throughout in this total area of India, about 5% is conserved for this biodiversity. And in 2010, the country level status assessment for tigers showed an increase in their number to an estimated 1706 from an estimated 1411 in the year 2006. So gradually they have started conserving tigers also. Their number has increased, and subsequent to becoming a party to the CBD, India has taken the following steps. CBD is the Convention on Biological Diversity, UN Convention on the Biological Diversity. Since then, India has been doing some processes. That is, India passed and notified the Biological Diversity Act 2002. The act primarily addresses access to genetic resources and associated knowledge by foreign individuals, institutions, or companies to ensure equitable sharing of benefits. Just now I have told you, in international agreement, when all the countries have come together, there was one point mentioned there. What was that point? Whatever benefit is there, through conservation of biodiversity, that benefit should be equally shared by all the countries. So this India was also part of that agreement. So there was Biological Diversity Act 2002. A National Biodiversity Authority has been set up at Chennai to facilitate implementation of the Act. In compliance with the provisions of the Act, states have formed state biodiversity boards at local level. Biodiversity management committees have been formed. So they have made a setup at center as well as at states to protect the biodiversity. India chaired the group of like-minded mega diverse countries for a period of 2 years. India played important role in the development of common position of LMMCs for the negotiations for developing an international regime on access and benefit sharing. So this organization is the LMMC, thus like-minded mega diverse countries. Means some countries have come together and formed a group, that is LMMC, and India was leading this group for 2 years. Okay, and India has played an important role in framing of this agreement on forming a negotiations for the developing of international regime on access and benefit sharing. So whatever process has to be done after conservation, it was looking after that. Subsequent to the approval of the National Environment Policy by the Cabinet, National Biodiversity Action Plan was approved in November 2008. So here there were different programs which were planned and which were processed by India in 2008. And India has recently ratified Nagoya Protocol and formalized the commitment to it. Nagoya Protocol on Access and Benefit Sharing has been negotiated under the aegis of CBD and adopted the 10th Conference of Parties held in Nagoya, Japan. The Nagoya Protocol would contribute to fair and equitable sharing of benefits. So here everything is coming on sharing of benefits. Okay, so different names are given at different time period. You have to remember that protocols, acts, and whatever groups they have formed, whatever organizations they have formed, that you have to remember. India has hosted 11th Conference of Parties of the Convention on Biological Diversity, and India has earmarked funds to promote similar capacity building in developing countries. So it has also given some financial help. In recent years, public knowledge may become restricted in its use because the application of the modern intellectual property system. India has tried a unique approach to protection of traditional knowledge by establishing a traditional knowledge digital library. Okay, so there was one more a step ahead by India, that is formation of traditional knowledge digital library. Okay, if you have knowledge about it, Americans, they have patent about this turmeric and basmati rice, I believe, but they were the originates of India. They have formed in India. They were taken from India. So this in India, they have started this traditional knowledge digital library where they can preserve all the knowledge about Ayurveda and all the medicines, etc., which were being used since long time in our country. So this was about Indian efforts for biodiversity conservation. Rest, actions required for conserving biodiversity, biodiversity and ethics, moral principles and biodiversity, legal compliances. And remaining, whatever in the starting we have left, one topic. Okay, so together I'll be dealing tomorrow because I didn't know this was left. Right. So for exam, you have to prepare 2 units. Will that be okay? Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
All of you are prepared with these 2 units? I won't be giving any important questions. Yes. First you write for 1 unit. Okay. Second unit you write. Is that okay? Yes.
Okay, ma'am.
All of you have to interact, ma. We have only very few members with us. How many are there today? 35.
35, ma'am.
We have more than 100. What about them? So prepare for second unit. I'll tell you if I'm going to take class tomorrow, I'll inform in the morning itself. 10 o'clock sharp, we can have the class. Be prepared for second unit. I won't be giving any important questions. It can be anything. So you have to read the entire unit. All of you are having the material, right? No problem. Any problem?
No, ma'am.
Sirisha? Okay, na? MBCAN. A Sirisha.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Okay.
All of you are confident about the exam?
Yes, ma'am.
You can write. Princey.
Yes, ma'am.
Princey is there. Soumya Sri. Mita Soumya Sri. Not there? Okay. You inform your friends, ma. Keep a message in the group. Second unit you have to write for internals. I'm ending the class.